Jaho, jestem, witam wszystkich. Ech. Od razu się wyjaśnię, wytłumaczę, że te wszystkie spóźnienia na ostatnich live'ach są przede wszystkim dlatego, że się Hogwarty renderują. No i czasem im schodzi dłużej niż bym chciała. Ja. Tak dla waszej VIP-owskiej ciekawości mogę zdradzić, że dzisiaj nagrywałam 53 odcinek, więc nieźle idzie. Potrzebuję to tylko nic zrobić. No, otóż to. Tyle do zrobienia. Jaho, jaho. Hej, hej, hej. Łe, hej, hej. Właśnie, fajna koszulka, no nie? Też mi się podoba. Pomyślałam, że założyłabym coś niebieskiego i leżało obok siebie... A w ogóle to ten... O, co to jest? Leżało obok siebie dwie koszulki. Jedna właśnie z Housekeepera, a druga z Horizon. I pomyślałam, no, dzisiaj damy Housekeepera. Zawrotne tempo w nagrywaniu, owszem. Jedyne, co mnie ogranicza w dodawaniu więcej odcinków naraz, szybciej, to jest po prostu czas, w jaki YouTube przetwarza moje filmy w 4K. Plus to się musi jeszcze... O, coś mi... rzęsa? To się jeszcze musi zedytować. To się jeszcze musi zrenderować i upload zrobić. A ja mam bardzo dobry internet, jeżeli chodzi o pobieranie, a wysyłanie mam... nie dla youtuberów, że tak powiem. Jakby to nie zabrzmiało. Bardzo słabe mam wysyłanie. Dlatego też staram się te filmy robić częściej, troszkę krótsze, bo gdybym miała lepsze wysyłanie, nie przeszkadzałoby mi w to, że filmy mają po 50 parę minut, ale to jest naprawdę bardzo wąska granica w tych filmach, bo jeżeli film ma 30 parę minut, albo nawet 40 kilka, to się dodaje o wiele szybciej niż taki, który ma 50 kilka. Tak się składa. Dlatego te filmy tak robię teraz. Gdzie ten mój mikrofon? Żeby nie był... Nie wchodź w kadr. Żeby nie był za daleko, co byśmy się mogli słyszeć. Bo normalnie jak nagrywam, to mam go tak. I w ten sposób do niego mówię i słychać o wiele lepiej. Ale tutaj, żeby się nie znalazł w kadrze, musiałabym go co live'a na przykład zmieniać, żeby był od dołu. No ale niewygodniej mi jest nagrywać z mikrofonem od dołu. Może tak będzie dobrze? No zobaczymy. Na razie mówicie, że jest ok, to jest ok. Dobra, dobra. Kogoś jeszcze musimy popytać. Mieliśmy jeszcze tyle ludzi do przepytania. Może pójdziemy do Penny's Room. Ale trochę go widać. Schowaj się, schowaj się. Okej. Już lepiej. Boing. Encounter. Robimy to co ostatnio.
A fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told. Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends with Flora?
A little bit.
A little bit friends.
She's one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little too loud for her. I can see that. I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ouch.
I said it.
Wystarczyłoby mieć zielony mikrofon i byłby jak green screen. Kurczę, to jest bardzo dobry pomysł. Może na same live'y po prostu mu taką kotarkę zarzucę. Bo jeszcze jak on by wychodził, owszem, ale nie z tej strony, tylko z tej drugiej. Bo wiecie, na live jest odbicie lustrzane, żeby dla was to było w dobrej kolejności, ale jak na przykład wskazuję w prawo, to na podglądzie widzę, jakbym wskazywała w lewo. Ale no, to się odpowiednio robi. Także mikrofon jest ogólnie nie przed monitorami, żeby tam zasłaniał mi wszystko, tylko ładnie tu przy komputerach ustawiony elegancko. Tylko może rzeczywiście przydałaby mu się taki rękaw. Gila ten włos tutaj, co mi się zawija bez przerwy. Czy ja mam coś zielonego? W ramach testów. Chusteczki mam, ale one są chyba niebieskie. Chociaż trochę wyciąga. Mikrofon, chusteczki, ale wiecie co? To jest bardzo dobry pomysł. Stokrotki też są ładne. I mogłabym wtedy założyć z powrotem mój filtr, który używam. Filtr audio. Jeszcze trochę. O. Genialny pomysł. Koszulkę zieloną. Tylko chyba nie mam zielonej koszulki, bo przyznam szczerze, że mnie zielony kolor tak bardzo nie pasuje jakoś specjalnie. Nie wyglądam w nim dobrze. Wyglądam w zielonych trochę chorowicie, więc... Bardzo mało zielonych ubrań mam. Mam jedną koszulkę zieloną, w której sypiam. I to chyba wszystko. O, nie przychodzi mi nic do głowy zielonego.
She's a most unsavory little... She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird arms, or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow. I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility. Did you not know that?
No tak, czyli wiemy, że profesor Pointer wezwał detektyw tutaj. Z głupimi pomysłami, co się genialnie okazują, polecam się na przyszłość. O, dziękuję. Dziękuję bardzo. Też się polecam na różne pomysły, w sensie, żeby przekazywać mi różne pomysły.
Can't say I've ever taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion I've dared to visit him in his tower, but I always regret it. It's all just a little too abstract for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently over 400,000 miles wide? Okay, so what should I do with that information? How does it help me?
Don't look at me. You're the one who memorized it.
Ale ja uważam, że wiedza jest bardzo fajną rzeczą. Jeszcze jak ktoś dobrze zapamiętuje, to dosłownie do core mojego istnienia zazdroszczę osobom, które mają dobrą pamięć. Tak jak nigdy nie rozumiałam, jak można zaliczać testy i rzeczy w szkole, będąc tylko na zajęciach. Ja musiałam wszystko kuć. Hej Gaja, witam.
I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable.
O. Felix, Fajny jest ten Felix. Jak na razie nie mam pojęcia, kto mógłby być mordercą w tym wypadku. To i bardzo się z tego cieszę, bo zupełnie nie pamiętam ze staszkowej serii. Pamiętam postaci i zamek, The Mansion, a tak to nic więcej. Co do nieprzydatnej wiedzy, to rośliny mięsożerne reagują w zbliżony sposób na narkozy do ludzi. To zależy od wykładowcy, nauczyciela. Niektórzy tak fajnie gadali, że aż miło było posłuchać i potem egzamin bez nauki leciał. I myślę, że to też w dużym stopniu pomaga, ale to jest kwestia zapamiętywania. No, ja musiałam zawsze wszystko kuć.
She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds. Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting. All the birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her, but she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
Nareszcie. nie mogła się druga żarówka załączyć w żerandolu, bo już chyba dogorywa. Albo sam żerandol jest taki inny. I jedna mryga co jakiś czas i widzę, że teraz się włączyła. Nareszcie, bo przez nią mój green screen nie do końca... Bo żeby ładnie green screen był wycięty, musi być dobrze oświetlony on. I my też musimy być ładnie oświetleni. Ale mam ograniczoną ilość przestrzeni na światła. W tej chwili w ogóle mam światło z lewej strony, światło z prawej strony, niedużo oświetlające z tyłu green screen i światło przede mną z drugiej strony ścianki, żeby opadało... O, zgasło. Zdecyduj się! O, będzie mrugać. Będziemy mieć party, yeah.
Oh, she's beautiful. Who is she? Wait, is that me?
O, świetne. Ja robiłam specyficzne notatki, praktycznie zawsze na trójkę zdawałam, pomijając, że oprócz mnie nigdy inny nie kumał tych notatek. Ale możliwe, że jakbym poszła na studia, to też bym musiała kłuć, bo to bardzo skomplikowana wiedza. A jaki temat? Biegające lampy robią klimat pod horrory. No to idealnie, pod
She
morderstwo.
mostly ignores me, if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh, you don't need to.
No, it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it.
Nie na tym samym poziomie intelektualnym. Jaho, witam. Gorzej z tym całym światłem chyba będzie na lato. Bardzo możliwe. Niemniej jednak każde okno, które mam w pokoju, ma żaluzje założone, nie, jak to się nazywa? Rolety założone i praktycznie nigdy ich nie otwieram. Ale to są szare, takie dosyć mocno przezroczyste, więc zobaczymy rzeczywiście, jak się będzie nam w lecie grało.
Isn't he strapping?
He is big.
And so brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input.
O. No tak to wygląda, jakby może ona lubiła Fitza. On ją może lubi, ale chyba ma większe patrzenie na Poppy. Chyba że z Poppy się rzeczywiście po prostu lubi. Może Fitz i Penny to rzeczywiście jest dobre dobranie, tylko Poppy jest entuzjastą kwiatów, tak jak on. Tak sobie to wmawiajmy.
Oh, did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be lies.
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she does. She's a snake. Looks like one too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it.
Och, chyba jednak wie o zainteresowaniu Poppy kwiatami. Hejka, wpadłem się przywitać, życzę wszystkim miłego wieczoru. Dziękujemy bardzo, miłego wieczoru. Jestem po techniku gastronomicznym i notatki z przedmiotów zawodowych to były... to była istna enigma dla innych. No, zawodowe przedmioty, jakie by nie były, zawsze mają te swoje rzeczy, bywają trudne.
No, it's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you?
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my fits, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But no, any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Is that fair?
I couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest.
No tak.
Finally, I get to see a detective's case file.
That's a very specific thing to be excited about.
Well, only last week I asked that miserable Hawkshaw woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused me of being, what was it? A shallow sensationalist.
Och, ojej. Wygląda na to, że detektyw Hawk jest dosyć bezpośrednia. Oraz zapisałam sprawdzian w moim kodzie i musiałam jeszcze raz pisać ten sprawdzian przy nauczycielu, bo go nie zrozumiała. Ale 5 wpadło. No i super, 5 wpadła.
I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere. Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though. Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue.
Ona chyba lubi, jak się coś dzieje. Biedna siedzi tutaj taka jest bardziej, ja wiem. Wolałaby chyba być w świecie i poznawać i odkrywać różne nowe rzeczy, a tak to tutaj biedna siedzi. I Jacho, witam. Co tu to blue screen fajnie? No nie? Elegancko, ładnie. Czasami ja też znikam, jak w grze jest za dużo zielonego i zielone światło na mnie pada. Ale to się nie zdarza aż tak często. Chociaż raz było.
Oh, that's rather sad.
No tak.
Freya doesn't take very good care of her pains, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian, had her own priorities. I doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling, don't you think? It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence, bless her.
Pani detektyw i Penny to przeciwieństwa, zdecydowanie.
Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama phone, on account of it belonging to her mother.
That's cute.
Oh yes, adorable. A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird of some kind.
A ten z komentarzem, no.
Very nice.
You've seen these before?
Yes.
All of them. Even this one of...
Yes.
O. No. Zdecydowanie wie, że jest coś na rzeczy. Pytanie, czy tam jest coś na rzeczy, czy po prostu dzielą pasję. I tyle. Też można.
Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style.
Fiona!
I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me. I find it overbearing. And for some reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more troubled than we knew.
Mnie to wciąż wygląda bardziej na detektyw niż na coś specyficznego.
Ooh, a secret diary.
That's our guess too.
Excellent. Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo!
Okej. Hogwarty, tak, zdecydowanie. Mocno mnie wciągnęły. Fakt, że tam jest mocno otwarty świat, bardzo mi się podoba i bardzo mi się dobrze w to gra. Nie jestem do końca pewna, czy w dobrym kierunku idą niektóre z moich misji. Trochę mnie martwią, ale to będzie spoiler, więc nie będę nic mówić, no bo tak jak mówiłam, nagrane mam do przodu o wiele więcej niż jest dodane, więc no tak. Ale ogólnie bardzo mi się podoba. Penny przypomina Social Butterfly w filmach z arystokratami. Idealnie by się spisała jako królowa plotek i szemranych interesów. Bardzo możliwe, albo po prostu bardzo pozytywna, wesoła osoba, która wprowadza dużo światła, energii i jednocześnie trochę męczy, ale takiego dobrego rodzaju zmęczenia.
Terrible.
You recognize it?
The color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene. Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
Jeszcze jest jeden. Popatrz, o tu.
Lovely.
O. Już się nie zainteresowała. Każdy z nich na czymś gra, to jest fajne.
Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals.
Extinct.
Oh, yes. The book is very old. Most of the birds in it are long gone.
Well, what about this bird, though? The ink dip.
This one, well, it was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at Tangle Tower.
So it's not extinct.
You misunderstand. It was the last one. The very last.
Oh.
No właśnie. Ciekawi mnie, czy to, że tak wszyscy Freję lubią, to z powodu, że tak było, czy że nie mówią źle o zmarłych, czy nie chcą być podejrzani. No, ciekawe, zwłaszcza, że mieszkała w komórce pod schodami, no nie?
I must say the girls are awfully well behaved today. I think they know we're in the presence of company.
They belong to you? Why do you keep them in a cage?
They need a special diet, particular treatment. I let them out to fly occasionally, of course. But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
Do they have names?
Of course. Let me introduce you to Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
I've already forgotten all three of those names.
Which one is which?
Oh, that's simple. Tatiana is the oldest, Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara has the best sense of rhythm.
Glad we cleared that up.
What about the one on your head?
On my head? He's just my hat. He doesn't have a name. Who would name their hat?
Realistyczny hat. Albo osoba wprowadzająca nowe trendy na salony. No, tak by zdecydowanie przypominała, no. Myślę, że tak. Ten zestaw 3 różowych kolorów.
Yes, it's my... my flower.
You don't like it?
I'm no good at caring for plants. I forget to water them. Birds are much easier. They're a lot more vocal when they get thirsty.
Do you at least like the look of the flower?
The look?
The colors? The shape of it?
Between you and me, I think it's a little vulgar.
A on ma wyglądać jak ona, o nie! Wulgarny odrobinkę? No nie wiem.
That's rather strange now, isn't it?
We found it in your room.
Just lying around, was it?
Nope. You'd hidden it, but we found it.
We do that.
Who's the her in the message? And what's the deal with the petals?
It's really none of your business.
O!
Looks a little simple for Poppy, doesn't it? Thought she was a grade 12 or something.
I didn't know there were that many grades.
I'm sure they invented some new ones just for her.
No, czuć to napięcie między nimi.
I can't decide what's worse. How she looks here, or how she looks now.
Do you know who this is? In the photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea.
Absolutnie nie.
Not a fan of insects myself. Whose research is this?
We were hoping you might know.
No, can't say I... Freya, perhaps. I know she was always very fond of grubby little things like this.
Noted.
Czyżby to było nawiązanie do jej męża?
I don't know what that is.
Tak się starał, ona traktuje go jak wulgar. Nie o to chodzi właśnie. Chodzi mi o to, że ona na kształt kwiatka powiedziała, że jest wulgarny, a nie widzi, że ten kwiatek przypomina ją, więc ona chyba źle to zinterpretowała. O to chodzi. Sam kwiatek w sobie chyba nie przeszkadza, poza tym, że nie umie o niego zadbać. W sumie nie woła, jak jest spragniony.
Ooh, delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too, I think.
Yes. At one point I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell them. But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look.
Może być.
Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right.
O, nie skomentowała za bardzo, czy to Pepe to jest jej Pepe.
Is that for sewing?
Maybe?
We have no idea.
Oh, there used to be all kinds of birds here at Tangle Tower. The most fascinating breeds, all totally unique.
Used to be? There are birds all
Ah.
over the place.
Most of them are rather ordinary, I'm afraid.
What happened to the non-ordinary ones?
That is a very good question.
Czyli, że zrozumiała, że ten kwiatek pokazuje ją i uznała, że jest zbyt puszysty i dlatego było to wulgarny prezent odrobinę?
Goodness me, Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it. It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad.
No nie. Ale to już pokazaliśmy jej wszystko, pogadaliśmy o wszystkich. Na razie nie mamy odblokowanej tej
There's
informacji
something
tutaj.
about those petals we found in Penny's room. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
Jeszcze raz. A, jednak to podsumowali. Dobra, okej, tak to sobie robią. Okej.
So, yeah, we found this.
Oh, that's nothing.
You wrote, "Now I'll get her," on a piece of paper and hid it in your room. That's not nothing.
Actually, it's not the message I wanted to ask about. It's those red flower petals.
The petals.
Są sztuczne, są z czerwonej róży, z czerwonych tulipanów. Nie znaleźliśmy tulipanów i nie było nigdzie mówione, że są sztuczne, ale znaleźliśmy czerwoną różę, więc mam nadzieję.
They're from red roses, and there's only one place in Tangle Tower with red roses.
We need a clue. Something that shows the roses and who they belong to.
To znaczy, znaleźliśmy ogród. Jak to udowodnić? Z tamtego ogrodu jest na pewno ten gostek. O! Na tym obrazku jest namalowany, tak jakby Fitz dawał różyczkę Poppy. No dobra, może to.
It's a drawing of Fitz and Poppy in the rooftop garden. See what Fitz is holding?
I can't imagine what you're getting at, but it doesn't matter. I couldn't have taken anything from the rooftop garden. It's only accessible from Fitz's room or Poppy's room. How could I have taken something from a garden to which I have no access?
Is it really only accessible from those two bedrooms?
For most people, it would be. But don't forget, Penny's the resident ornithologist.
My dears, what are you accusing me of?
O! Was used to bribe, was used to spy on, was used to, was to, inform, was given to, was used to spy on. Jeden z ptaszków Penny był wykorzystywany do szpiegowania Poppy i Fitza. They were planning murder and steal money. Distract them and steal evidence from them? Evidence? No nie jestem do końca pewna.
One of Penny's birds was used to spy on Poppy and Fitz and steal evidence from them.
Okej.
We know those two have been spending time together in the rooftop garden. I'm guessing you got paranoid. Wanted to know what they were up to.
I'm just not the jealous type. I would never
Yeah.
suspect Fitz of anything like that. Besides, Tabitha hardly ever leaves her cage. She's certainly never flown up to the rooftop garden.
We need a clue to compare with Penny's birds. Something to prove one of them has been in the rooftop garden.
O! Te pióra znaleźliśmy na tym? Gdzie my znaleźliśmy pióra? O kurczę.
Let's take a closer look at these.
Ten żółty kwiatek was stolen from, was dropped by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the greenhouse. Escape nie, to confuse me.
This yellow feather was deliberately dropped by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the rooftop garden. Almost.
Nie
Maybe
pasuje, bo
just
jest
change
inny
one
kolor.
thing.
No właśnie. Ale to może ten ogon. Ten bardziej pasuje, nie?
This yellow feather was deliberately dropped by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the rooftop garden. Almost. Maybe
No co?
just change one thing.
Was eaten. Na skrzydło? Ale to nie bardzo mi pasuje. A, może dobra, racja, rzeczywiście.
This yellow feather was left behind by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the rooftop garden.
Nie zauważyłam left behind, że jest jeszcze opcja.
I can't stand it! Knowing the two of them are hidden away up there in their private little garden. I couldn't risk spying on them myself, so I asked dear Tabitha to do it for me. I knew she'd be able to bring me back some evidence.
Sorry, Penny, but are you not overreacting a little?
You don't understand. Fitz is slipping away from me. He's so quiet with me these days. But being with Poppy seems to bring him out of his shell. I don't know what he sees in her miserable little... I apologize. This really isn't your burden to bear.
Biedna. Pękła. Nie narzekałbym na prywatny ogródek na dachu. Ja też nie. Byłoby łatwiej o niego dbać, bo już by było słońce i deszcz. Podlewałby kwiatki. Dobra, tę stronę pytaliśmy o wszystko. Tu też. A czy my pytaliśmy pana profesora Pointera? Percival chyba miał na imię, no nie? No nie, macha tymi paluszkami. No dobra, runda druga.
A listless soul drifting through the ether.
What's wrong with her?
Not sure. She's always been troubled. Comes from a dysfunctional family.
Och,
I'd say you could ask her about it, but I think you might find that to be a bit of a dead end.
dzika zwierzyna będzie niszczyła ogródka. Dokładnie tak. Kto jej broni iść razem z Fitzem do ogrodu? No zakładam, że on sam jej tam nigdy nie zaprosił.
Hard to read that one, but she seems to know what she's doing.
She's kind of mean.
You know, I simply assumed all detectives were sharp, rigorous, and thorough.
O!
Then, of course, I met you. I don't especially want to talk about myself. Introspection often leads to vanity.
Wait, does it?
Why don't we discuss the moons of Jupiter instead?
I'm not sure if we have time. Aren't there like 10 of them?
83.
Yeah, we don't have time.
Nie wiem, czy mamy czas. Nie ma ich z 10, 83. Tak, nie mamy czasu.
He should learn to make the most of his lot in life. And he does have a lot in life.
You're talking about money?
Among other things, but yes, he currently has agency over a small fortune. That is, if he hasn't already squandered it or lost it.
You two don't get on?
Oh no, we're the best of friends.
Best of friends.
Nobody could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also highly intelligent.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her. But I think she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth. My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I've begun to notice her by herself, wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over. Quite a restless spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at Tangle Tower as long as she did.
Ja myślę, że on to wszystko obserwował przez ten jego teleskopik. Pewnie jakby było tylko 82, to byśmy pogadali na 100%. I nasz detektyw zasnąłby na trzecim księżycu. Na pewno by spanikował.
Ah, Penelope, our resident ornithologist.
Penny's your niece, is that right?
At this moment in time. until she marries the gardener.
She'll still be your niece.
But she'll depart from the world of the Pointers and join the Fellows. Like rats deserting a sinking ship.
Och,
Ah, yes, the heiress of Tangle Tower. Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes charge. I dare say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a microscope.
She doesn't seem to be the type to impress her will on others.
Still, keep an eye on her. Dangerously intelligent, that one.
You sound jealous. Wait, are you two science rivals?
Oh no, we operate on very different wavelengths. Literally.
dokładnie. Ale boi się, co zrobi Fifi, jak przejmie wieżę. Fifi nie do końca jest zainteresowana w ogóle całym tym domem.
What do you want me to say? He's the gardener.
He's a member of the family.
Yeah, but not the Pointer family.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father, Flint, is Felix's brother. Strange man. Don't think anybody knows what happened to him, but he certainly doesn't live here anymore.
What about his mother?
Emily? I've not met her. She never actually married into the Fellow family. Her relationship with Flint was, it was short-lived.
Short-lived, ale za to jakie owocne to życie było. Pointer nie ufa nikomu, albo jest zazdrosny o każdego umiejętności. Bardzo możliwe. Bardzo możliwe. Tylko mógłby to jakoś mniej agresywnie przedstawiać do świata. Ale w sumie mu chyba jest obojętne.
My Poppy, my pride and joy. Exceptionally talented pianist from a young age. Hold on. Why is she on your list of suspects?
Because she's a suspect.
Oh no, I can personally vouch for her innocence. She'd never... Well, the truth is, she loved Freya very dearly.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to Poppy's mother?
Primrose? She was Flora's sister, a Remington by birth. The playing field has never really been even since she left.
Where did she go?
Away.
O,
She went away.
po prostu odeszła. O, trochę mu smutno było z tego powodu, nic dziwnego. Ciekawe, która z tych części rodzin należy do tych okrutnych, tych kłusowników. O, to jest dobre słowo.
So which one is Tangle Tower?
What's that?
There are two towers, right? Flora's tower and your astronomy tower.
Neither? Truly, I have no idea. You'd have to ask Flora.
She named the house?
The whole thing is a result of her squabbling with her family.
With Felix, you mean? Her husband?
No, her brother and sister, and her father. The Remington family was a rather tumultuous little unit, you see. I don't think Flora has spoken with any of them in over a decade.
No tak, Poppy jest skarbem, bo nie wie o spotkaniach na dachu z Fitzem. Będzie potem skarbenkiem.
A very old statue indeed. I'd recommend you leave it well alone. The poor fellow's in bad enough shape as it is.
A co to miało do rzeczy?
Where on earth did you find that?
It was in a bush outside. I think someone threw it away.
How peculiar. Here's a thought. Do you suppose the paintbrush could be the murder weapon? After all, it was found at the scene, right next to Freya's body.
I guess it's possible.
To znaczy, można kogoś, myślę, dziabnąć pędzlem, ale nie wyglądałby w ten sposób później chyba.
Is this important?
Possibly.
Wiem, że można teoretycznie zapytać tylko o pojedyncze rzeczy, które uważamy za ważne, ale ciekawy mnie komentarze na temat wszystkich rzeczy. O, Jacho, witam.
I find that painting to be in rather bad taste.
Oh, yeah?
The knife with real blood on it? The whole thing is rather vulgar. Pointer property originally, purloined by the fellows. Typical.
O,
This is supposed to be Felix, is it?
I think so.
I see he's afforded himself considerable artistic license. This looks a little rushed. even by Felix's standards.
At least he tried.
Yes, I suppose it's good for the old fellow to have a hobby. Keeps his mind from decaying, you know.
O,
These were drawn by Freya. She must have drawn that one of Hawkshaw rather recently.
I guess.
Poppy's two closest friends. Freya looks so innocent there.
a teraz już nie wyglądała? Dobrej nocy, dobrej nocy.
Freya was well acquainted with the abstract, I'll say that much.
What does it look like to you?
To me, it's a big, red thing.
What a fascinating interpretation.
He's right, though. It is a big red thing.
A diary can be a wonderful outlet for an outpouring of one's soul.
How do you know it's a diary?
I suppose I don't, but it does look like a diary. Curious little thing, isn't it? Do you know what she keeps in there?
Nothing. At the moment. It was empty when we opened it.
How bizarre.
Can't a woman keep an empty egg in her room?
Eh,
I haven't seen that tape for a long time. Who broke it?
No idea.
Ah, well, possessions are fleeting, my friends.
I zaraz mu pokażemy zdjęcie Poppy.
Curious creature, isn't it? Some sort of amphibious bipedal fishman.
Playing a trumpet.
Playing a trumpet, yes. That's a very old book, isn't it? Looks like someone could have taken better care of it.
I like the look of a well-read book. Better than one that's never been opened.
Ah, well put.
No nie? Dobrze, dobre skojarzenie.
That's rather a small cage for three birds, isn't it? But then, aren't we all trapped in a cage?
Jaki on jest animatyzowany, skubany, aż się w oczach mieni.
What kind of flower is that?
We're not sure. I think it might be the only one of its kind.
Primrose would know. My wife was a floriculturalist. Best in the field. That's a flower joke, but she was.
Interesting.
Bust in the field.
Well now, that is most definitely none of my business. Quite possibly none of yours either.
Odkąd dodałam koty na Dzień Kota, jestem spamowana wiadomościami z jednego konta o zwierzętach, z różnych kont. I są... No dziwnie to wygląda. Chyba z 15 wiadomości nie przeczytacie, ale tak wygląda po prostu ten spam, no nie? Na razie. I dostaję, nie wiem, poważnie, to już jest któraś nasta wiadomość, odkąd na Dzień Kota dodałam koty na Insta. Spamują mnie.
Oh my. This is the first piece that Primrose ever learnt on the piano. Primrose, that is Poppy's mother. She passed it down to Poppy when she started teaching her how to play.
Poppy's piano teacher was her mother?
Of course. Warms my heart to know that after everything, Poppy still has it up on her wall.
Jeszcze ciekawe jest to, że oni za każdym razem piszą wiadomość z innego konta, zakładają chyba z góry, że każde poprzednie zablokowałam. Każde poprzednie usunęłam, nie blokowałam, ale nie powtarzały się. Dobrze gestykuluję, wszyscy mają fajne animacje, to prawda. Tworzenie kwiatów jest fascynujące dla mnie, niezależnie czy przez krzyżowanie roślin, czy projektowanie genetyczne. Brzmi fascynująco, chociaż nie mam o tym zielonego pojęcia.
What a precious photograph. She hasn't changed a bit, has she?
Who?
Oh, if you don't know, perhaps I don't either.
No przecież wiemy, że to jest Penny.
So, we found some research.
Show.
What's up with this golden beetle? Is this something you're studying?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. I think it must be something left behind by a previous inhabitant of Tangle Tower. I'm not the first scientist to ever walk these halls, you know.
Well, it wasn't in the halls. It was in your astronomy tower.
Na Insta nie ma jakiejś opcji, żeby powiązane konta blokować? W sumie nawet nie wiem, nie próbowałam, bo to nie jest pierwszy raz, kiedy piszą do mnie konta, które mają na swoich kontach dużo zwierząt. Ale pierwszy raz tak intensywnie.
What's this?
It looks like it might be a telescope. Thought you
Microscope?
might know something about it.
Well, it certainly is a telescope. It has a part there to screw onto a tripod, you see. It's rather small, though. I'm not sure you could see many stars with it.
No, probably not.
Fitz seems rather keen to grow things like this in his greenhouse, doesn't he?
What's wrong with that?
Well, you can't eat it. Makes you wonder why he bothers at all.
Lubi na nie patrzeć.
Oh, you found a murder weapon?
Steady on. It's just a gardening trowel.
Looks like a weapon to me.
Łopatka!
What's this? Is it a clue?
We don't actually know, but Grimoire picked it up, so now he has to pretend it is.
That's how it works.
I've seen those earmuffs before. They're the ones Fitz always wears when he's out the front gardening.
Always wears.
Whenever I've seen him, yes.
O, ciekawe dlaczego.
I
Może-
think you may wish to adjust your threshold of what you consider to be a clue.
Może nie lubi nadmiaru dźwięków. A może jak grają, śpiewają ptaszki, to czuje się obserwowany przez Penny?
Isn't the process of decay fascinating?
It's not really decaying. It's plastic.
It's becoming one with nature, all the same. Yes, very nice. Where is
Okay.
that bird of Flora's? It's been a while since I've seen it.
No właśnie, gdzie on jest?
There's something about Pointer's astronomy habits. Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
So, Professor, what interests you about astronomy exactly?
It's not a matter of being interested. Once you expand your mind to the wider universe, it cannot be unexpanded.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you been an astronomer?
I really don't like to give exact values unless I'm sure I can quantify them.
Convenient.
Why do you ask me these things?
I have a theory about you, Professor.
Oh? Go on.
O. Na pewno nie strzela tym teleskopem w gwiazdy. Tak naprawdę wcale nie jesteś zainteresowany astronomią. Chcesz nazwać planetę swoim imieniem. Odkryłeś meteor, który zmierza w kierunku Ziemi. To by było zabawne.
You're not really interested in astronomy at all.
What could you possibly mean by that?
I think you're interested in a slightly different field of research.
Tak, ja myślę, że o robalku będziemy mówić.
I don't have time for tiny, insignificant insects. My studies focus only on the inconceivably large and the unimaginably far away.
Right. That's why you like using your telescope so much.
Yes, naturally. My little portal into another world.
Yeah, about that.
Właśnie, że zagląda do pokoju Prey, ale jest, właśnie jest. The moon, the stars. Oh, Pointer's telescope was sneaking, was trying to hide, was on top of, was actually looking at the crime scene, not up the sky.
Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene and not up at the sky.
First, you accuse me of being a lowly entomologist. Now you're accusing me of, what, spying?
Are you spying?
Why would I need to spy on Flora?
Why? Because you lost your golden beetle specimen, and it's made you paranoid. You think somebody stole it from you.
Might not have been Flora you were spying on. Might have been Freya.
It's a very precious specimen, incredibly rare, valuable in ways you could never understand. Freya was always sneaking around, both towers and in the gardens too. She was definitely up to something.
So, this next question is important. You were looking to Flora's room around the time of the murder. Did you witness the crime, Professor?
No, I didn't. When I looked into the room, Flora was already lying on the floor.
Flora?
Convenient.
You mean Freya?
No, Flora. She was lying by the window. I couldn't see Freya at all. It was fairly dark, and the telescope isn't at a very good angle. That's why I decided to head over there myself. I needed to know what was going on.
This changes your statement, doesn't it?
No, everything I told you in my statement was true.
Apart from the reason you left your tower in the first place.
Right.
Let's go over what we know about the crime scene.
Ciekawe jest to, że Flora też była nieprzytomna na ziemi. Jak dla mnie to wygląda... Kojarzycie, tam wszystko było pęknięte. Gdzieś musiał zostać wydany jakiś dźwięk okrutny, który sprawił, że może zemdlała. Teleskopy naziemne mają stosunkowo mały zasięg. Powietrze z atmosfery zniekształca obraz na duże dystanse. O!
We know a little more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think? Was Freya stabbed by her own painting?
Nieprzytomna, czy tylko leżała? Myślę, że była nieprzytomna, bo nie zareagowała jakoś specjalnie na to, że Freya została zamordowana. Plus... była malowana w pozycji stojącej, więc w sumie nie widzę powodu, dla którego miałaby po prostu leżeć. Was used to paint the red tip. Oh, was replaced by... Okay. Farba z pojemnika została zamieniona by... Put stop... Nie. Nie. To hide the evidence. To prove the existence of magic. To resemble a bloody... O, może tak. The painted ink tip feather was designed to match a real knife, to resemble a bloody knife.
The painted ink dip feather
chyba nie.
was designed to match a real knife to resemble a bloody knife. Nope.
Nie. To znaczy tak było, na pewno. W sensie, może nie tak, że specjalnie, ale... Was used to hide, was used to paint over... Mam wrażenie, że tu bardziej będzie z tymi farbami. So it could to distract Freya, to hide the evidence. Ja myślę, że może jednak z tą farbą. Że czerwona farba została zamieniona na krew, żeby ukryć...
Paint from the paint pot was replaced by blood from the paint pot to hide the evidence. That's not right.
Was used to hide, was used to paint over.
Blood from the paint pot
Wciąż nie.
was used to paint over the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife. Almost. Maybe just change one thing. Blood from the paint pot was used to paint the red tip of the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
I think you're right. Can't decide if I'm disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
Either it's a very strange coincidence, or somebody set it up.
Somebody deliberately put blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why? To distract us?
Possibly.
Well, it worked.
Possibly.
Flora's the only person who could have hidden the feather, unless someone took it from her.
Let's go over what we do know. The door was locked the whole time. It stayed locked until Fitz kicked it down. Normally, it can only be opened from the inside. Pointer said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope, but he did see Flora lying by the window.
So whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Except Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Hold on. If there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
Right now, I'm less interested in the what and more interested in the how.
The angle of Freya's wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle. That is, from directly in front of her. But she was standing right up by the canvas.
Somehow, Freya ended up lying on her back, still perfectly in line with a painting.
Maybe something went through it.
Through the painting? Wouldn't that leave a hole?
Okay, well, how about this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over? Maybe her being stabbed and her falling over are completely unrelated.
No właśnie o to mi chodziło, że coś sprawiło, zakładam, że jakiś dźwięk, skoro tam jest tyle potrzaskanych szkieł i to wszystko pęknięte, że obydwie zemdlały i ktoś dziabnął Freję z góry, bo widzieliśmy przez sufit, że tam jest ten kołowrotek, nie pamiętam nazwy dokładnie na to, z liną, czyli coś musiało być opuszczone na dół. Tylko krew jak wyschnie robi się brązowa, obraz by miał zgodne kolory przez niedługi czas. Ale oni coś mówili na ten temat nawet wcześniej, że to zmienia kolor minimalnie. Przynajmniej minimalnie tam na ich etapie. Dobra, kogo jeszcze możemy popytać troszkę więcej? Czyli wiemy, że skądś się wydał okrutny dźwięk, tak zakładam, który sprawił, że obie dziewczyny tutaj zemdlały i ktoś z piwnicy dziabnął Freję na dole, dlatego była tak blisko obrazu. A Flora zemdlała również, więc też tego nie widziała. Profesor Pointer mówi, że nie widział samego wydarzenia. Fitz nam powie, że nie słyszał hałasu, bo nosił słuchawki prawdopodobnie, skoro dowiedzieliśmy się, że to są jego słuchawki. Pójdziemy teraz do Poppy. Właściwie mamy jeszcze chyba 3 osoby do przepytania, tak na full. Pardon. Farby olejne nie mają czegoś, by nie traciły koloru. W sumie farbami olejnymi mało maluję osobiście, bo długo schną. Ze strychu, a może, no. Rzeczywiście, o strych mi chodziło. Powiedziałam piwnicy?
Needless noise from tongues expel, unless within the mouth they dwell. The spoken word, unfit for dealing with the shifting form of feeling. Stand unblinking in the face of taciturn and soundless space.
Wszystko będzie mówić rymowankami. A może tak samo z krwią by zadziałało? Ciekawe. Nie mam pojęcia, jak to działa z utlenianiem się krwi.
With surging tide, the waves are thrown, an entity of all its own. But on its surface you may see, reflected in the waters be, the orchestrator, pale and still, pulling strings, enacting will.
Dobra, na tym etapie nasz detektyw powinien już się poddać.
Eavesdrop what the stars are saying, earthly tether slowly fraying, floating helpless from the worst of jealous hunger, selfish thirst. Take a moment, kneel and meet the flowers growing at your feet.
Witam. Jaho. W notatkach jest info o dźwięku. No właśnie dlatego też tak myślałam, że to może być związane z hałasem.
Foregone drifter, holding fast, days as shadow seeker past. Is it bravery or surrender, accepting that your world will render nothing darker than the gloom some 4 walls make around a room?
Ach, ciężko się z nią rozmawia.
Hard of head, but free of mind, unimprisoned, unconfined. With starry eyes, she sees beyond, behind our walls, beneath our pond. A soul untied, it's hers, it's free. Was then, is now, will ever be.
Może nie przy farbach, ale w kryształkach. Zwykły lakier już trochę powstrzymuje utlenianie, także to może nie być głupie. Brzmi całkiem w porządku, jak dla mnie. O!
Feathers flashing in the light, from a sunbeam gleaming bright. I shield my eyes and turn my head, but all at once I've been misled. Light is shining on the stage, but through the railings of a cage. Between the lips a silver spoon, a story written all too soon. The chosen dwelling of her heart, unjustly chosen to depart. Lost her liberation lays in the center of a maze.
Dzisiaj nie mam takiego opóźnienia między OBS-em a tym jak ostatnio na Twitchu, więc ciekawe.
Softly does the flower grow, all in time, and time is slow. Rest a seed within the earth, but do not rush its gentle birth. Hour by hour, day by day, tune your heart to nature's way.
Pamiętam, że tłumaczenie tych jej wierszy u Staszka było wyzwaniem, bo chyba było postanowione, żeby przetłumaczyć to, co ona mówi, nie dosłownie, w sensie powiedzieć, co ma na myśli, tylko zrobić też po polsku wierszyk. Mogę się mylić, ale na pewno były o tym rozmowy.
That's me. I'm on a list of murder suspects. Always thought that would be kinda cool, but it's just tedious.
Falls a little short, doesn't it?
Jak to u Ciebie, Jarlinki, będzie w sprawie Forest? Na wczesny dostęp coś będzie teraz, czy dopiero na wrzesień? Myślę, że postanowiłyśmy spróbować. Nie wiemy jeszcze, czy to będzie publikowane, czy zagramy po prostu w formie testów. Jak bardzo jest okrojona ta gra. Bo jeżeli w Early Accessie jest wszystko, a jest kwestia tylko dopracowania sterowania i takich technicznych rzeczy przez grę, przez twórców, no to wtedy myślę, że możemy grać spokojnie, ale jeżeli to jest masa brakującego kontentu, tak jak na przykład, wiecie, pamiętacie jak wyglądał Early Access w Grounded? U mnie nie ma, ale chłopaki chyba grali na pewno, z tego co wiem, chyba na pewno. No i ta mapa i to wszystko, co tam jest, wyglądało zupełnie inaczej. Gra się zmieniła bardzo mocno, więc mam nadzieję, że to nie w tę stronę idzie, bo jeżeli tak to będzie wyglądać, to raczej poczekamy wtedy na oficjalną datę już do końca, no bo nie będzie nam się chciało 2 razy grać w to samo w ten sposób. Już ciężko się gra w coś, co znamy, tak jak w The Forest. Było nam trochę ciężko grać. Adlince trochę prościej, bo dużo rzeczy nie pamiętała z fabuły, a ja niestety z jakiegoś powodu akurat The Forest pamiętałam dokładnie, więc nie pamiętałam, gdzie trzeba iść, ale pamiętałam, co się działo, dlaczego i tak dalej, więc no. Fajnie byłoby jednak zagrać w dobrą grę od początku. Twórcy twierdzą, że gra jest w całości grywalna, ale zobaczymy. Tylko że całość grywalna to jest... to mało mówi, prawda? Całość grywalna z okrojonym kontentem, czy całość grywalna na przykład z niedokończoną albo niewytestowaną do końca formą techniczną, wiecie. Tak jak na przykład wspieranie pada, bo ja gram na padzie, więc czy na przykład pad nie będzie działał na tym etapie? Ciekawa jestem. Zobaczymy. Na pewno zobaczymy, jak wygląda gra teraz na Early Access. A czy będziemy nagrywać, to się okaże po pierwszych godzinach, które spędzimy w grze w ramach testów.
So there are 2 families living in Tangle Tower?
3 pointers and 5 fellows. 4 fellows.
What's the connection between them?
There isn't one. Not really. It was all built by the Remington family. Flora is a Remington, originally. So was Primrose, my mother. She married into the Pointers, and Flora married into the Fellows.
So the fellows and the pointers own the house now?
Flora owns the house. Depending on who you ask, that means her husband Felix owns it too.
What about your father?
His claim over the house kind of fell apart after my mother left.
Where's your mother now?
No idea. There's something I noticed about Freya's knife wound.
Hit me.
From what we could tell, the blade went in at an exact right angle, perpendicular to Freya's body. And there's only one small pool of blood. Nothing on Freya's hands, or anywhere else. The whole thing is just a little too peaceful.
Twórcy aktualnie wypuszczają takie gry jak Cyberpunk i też teoretycznie są w pełni grywalne. No właśnie. Nawet by mi nie przeszkadzał jakoś okrojony content, tylko żeby ta optymalizacja była w porządku. Jeju, jak ja nie mogłam w ogóle Hogwarty na początku, to przecież ja co odcinek właściwie w trakcie nagrywania odcinka jest tyle cięć w niektórych odcinkach, bo bez przerwy zmieniam ustawienia tej gry. Mieliśmy w końcu się przerzucić na konsolę, bo tam też wygląda super, ale już tak dużo zrobiłam w grze na komputerze, że już no ciężko by mi było nadrobić te wszystkie znajdźki. Gdyby to była gra liniowa, to by było prościej, a tak jak tutaj no było ciężko. Ale przecież chciałam na początku nagrywać od premiery Gotham Knights, ale tam optymalizacja tak leżała, że zupełnie nie mogłam sobie z tą grą poradzić. Tam chyba był ten problem z tym, że jak się zmieniało ustawienia na full albo na najniższe, to nie zmieniało to w ogóle tego, jak gra to widzi. No ale w końcu trzeba będzie w to pograć, myślę.
What do you make of the statue?
I know that's the only harp in the whole of Tangle Tower. I've never actually seen a real one.
Maybe it's from before your time.
Oh, definitely. You see how old this statue is?
What about the symbols? One of them looks like piano keys.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, weird.
Don't you think that's weird? That the letter isn't addressed to anyone or signed by anyone?
Someone's being deliberately secretive.
Or they're trying to manipulate you. Freya would always load up the palette with all the exact colors she was gonna need. I think it helped her zone out and focus on the actual painting itself. Like getting all your sheet music lined up before playing a long piece.
Right. So the blob of black paint in the middle, that was for painting Flora?
Flora's dress, yeah. She wears even more black than I do. Why is the glass cracked down one side?
Natural wear and tear, maybe?
No way. Freya took good care of her stuff.
Ale proszę bardzo, jak najbardziej. Ja się czegoś nauczę z czatów wtedy.
When I first saw it, I thought it looked like Flora was holding a knife with blood on the tip.
You don't think that anymore?
No, it was a stupid thing to say. The room was dark. I was in shock. I'm just an idiot.
But it was blood on the tip. If you hadn't said anything, maybe Fifi wouldn't have checked.
Exactly. It's stupid.
But we would have missed out on an important clue.
Is it a clue? Really? Tell me how it's a clue. Tell me how it helps. Nothing
Później.
about the knife makes any sense. It's just freaking everyone out. Wish I'd never said anything. It was my mother's originally.
So, why is it up in Flora's room?
She just gets the most use out of it. Freya would borrow it too sometimes.
Does this belong to you, Poppy?
Now that's not really my style, is it?
But who else would own a tape like this?
Literally anybody?
Chyba już o to pytaliśmy. Ciekawe, że nie było odhaczone.
What was inside?
Nothing.
Huh. Is that Fifi's diary? I'm sure I've seen it in her room before.
That's where we found it.
Have you ever read it? Do you know what's written in there?
Nope. I'm sure she wouldn't appreciate me invading her privacy.
I thought you and Fifi were close friends.
Yeah, we are. It's just Fifi's gotten kinda impatient with me recently.
Do you know why?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure she'd tell you if you asked.
Oh, she would. She'd give it to me straight. Probably why I've been avoiding it.
No właśnie. Nie mogą się dogadać dziewczyny coś.
I think everybody sees something different.
Did Freya ever tell you what she saw in it?
Not exactly. She said something about it being from a recurring nightmare.
Sorry, but if it was from a nightmare, why would you paint it and leave it in front of your bed?
Maybe she wanted to take control of it. Giving something a physical form can make it easier to deal with. Well, sometimes.
Ciekawe, że śniło jej się coś, co wygląda jak Detective Show.
This is a photo of Fifi and Freya, right?
Yeah,
How come you're not in it? You're friends with them too, aren't you?
I'm not really one for photographs.
Fifi looks like she really admires Freya.
Fifi's loyalty to Freya is unshakable. I don't know what that is.
Weird, considering we found it hidden in your room.
Well, my room is full of junk. There's probably a bunch of stuff hidden in there. I don't mean like Please stop talking to me. Hey, that's me. Not a bad likeness.
It looks like you're standing in a rose bush.
Is there something wrong with that? Is that supposed to be Flora?
Possibly?
Oh, how nice. Whose paints are those?
They belong to Felix, I think.
Może zauważyła tą jedną naklejkę zmienioną.
You get some weird insects around here, but I've never seen one like that.
I'm not sure anyone has.
Freya might have. She used to keep beetles in a box in her room.
Why?
For fun, obviously.
No właśnie, miała tam ten. Myśleliśmy, że to dla liści i gałązek, ale to może rzeczywiście było
Yeah, it's
na
fine.
robale. Can you play the tune for us? What's so special about it?
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
Jeszcze raz, możemy to drugie?
Yeah, it's mine.
What's so special about it?
I got it from my teacher. It's the first piece I ever learned.
How long have you been playing?
Since the day I turned 6. Family tradition. I was really excited to start learning. As soon as I got out of my first lesson, I told Freya and Fifi all about it. When I arrived at my second lesson the next day, Freya was there too. She hadn't asked permission, just showed up. For 2 whole years, the teacher taught us both.
Was Freya any good?
She would have been even better than me, if she'd stuck with it. But one day, she just stopped coming to lessons.
Why?
O,
That's just it. There was no reason. That's when I realized things were different for her. Those petals,
What about them?
it's nothing. They're just unusual.
No, te z ogrodu, tak? My już wiemy o ogrodzie.
Never seen that one before. Was it in the greenhouse?
No, we found it in Penny's room.
Ah, right.
Ach,
I think it's kind of cruel to keep 3 birds in one cage like that.
Does Penny not let them out to fly?
Oh, she does. She must do. But I don't think they're allowed to go far. Penny can be a little protective.
controlling chciała powiedzieć?
That belongs to Flora, I think. Don't look at me. I didn't break it.
Does anybody else use the music room?
Yes. I don't know who, but I can tell when somebody else has touched the piano.
O,
Did you find that in Fifi's room?
No. Should we have?
No, it's just... It looks like something she'd use, don't you think? Oh, you've been to the greenhouse? What did you think?
Impressive, I guess. But kind of unsettling with Fitz lurking in the shadows the whole time.
Yeah, he does that. Is that a gardening trowel?
Yeah, I think it belongs to Fitz.
Really? Huh, never seen him use it. Where did you find this?
It was in the attic.
Oh, huh. I forgot we even had an attic.
Do you know where those earmuffs came from?
I put them there.
Why?
I found them lying around. I think they belonged to Fitz. I put them on the statue so he'd see them. I thought they looked like headphones, like he's in the recording studio with his guitar. No?
If they do belong to Fitz, he hasn't taken them back yet. When did you find them?
This morning.
Where?
I don't know, in a hallway. I can't remember exactly.
o, trochę więcej informacji mamy teraz.
I see a lot of birds up in the rooftop garden. They seem to really like it up there.
Why's that?
It's quiet. This is mine.
Really?
No, well, yes, it was. I gave it to Freya about a year ago.
What was on it?
Nothing. It was blank. Freya said she wanted to record something.
Any idea how it ended up underwater?
Maybe someone wanted to destroy it, but got really lazy.
Ona mówiła, że ktoś grywa tutaj na tym jej sprzęcie w międzyczasie. No, Freya nie żyje od kiedy? Od wczoraj czy od dzisiaj dopiero? Więc może ona przychodziła tu pograć czasami.
How sweet.
How sweet. Dobra, tu mieliśmy rymowanki.
There's something about that diary we found in Fifi's room. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
I.
Is this your diary, Fifi? We found it in your bedroom.
Of course it is mine. Ridiculous question.
Why is it locked up like that?
You seriously require an explanation. Very well. A fairly common concept, the so-called secret diary, is favored in particular by girls between the ages of 10
So, there are secrets written in here?
and this particular diary is unused.
It doesn't look unused.
To jest pamiętnik kogoś innego. To jest pamiętnik Fifi i coś im napisała. To nie jest pamiętnik. To nie jest pamiętnik. Ha, ciekawe.
It's Fifi's diary and she has written in it.
I'm not sure about that.
Me
Jak to
neither.
nie?
This particular diary is unused.
It doesn't look unused.
O, ciekawe.
It's not a diary at all.
I'm not sure about that.
Me
A to
neither.
wiedziałam akurat.
This
Byłam ciekawa, czy
particular
coś
diary
powiedzą
is
innego.
It doesn't look unused.
It's somebody else's diary.
How could you arrive at that conclusion? It is kept in my bedroom. It is mine.
We need a clue to compare with the diary. Something to prove who the original owner was.
Przyznam, że akurat jeżeli chodzi o...
We need a clue that's got a
A,
connection.
coś co z tym się można połączyć. Dobra. Przyznam, że akurat jeżeli chodzi o sam ten, to tak nie do końca wiem. Jedyne co łączy te dwie, tą rzecz z czymś innym, to jest ta zakładka. Że tu jest ta sama zakładka i tu. Przynajmniej tyle w mojej głowie na razie jest.
That's not it.
O, to teraz już nie mam pojęcia tak naprawdę, przyznam. Niebieski, chyba że ta gwiazdka i ta taśma ewentualnie łączy te dwie rzeczy. Chyba że rysunki się z tym łączą. Jeżeli chodzi o pamiętnik, to akurat przyznam, ciężko mi powiedzieć.
That's not it.
Będę strzelać po prostu na razie.
That kinda makes sense. But no.
No właśnie. Hej, hej, Jaho, witam. No dobra, ale przyznam, że naprawdę nie wiem, co by mogło tutaj pasować. Rysunek albo te rzeczy tutaj.
That kinda makes sense. That's not it.
Była. To już naprawdę nie wiem. To jest mocno strzelanie teraz w tym momencie dla mnie. Ewentualnie ta kartka, bo też jest taka niebieskawa.
That's not it.
Nie. Dobra, to nie mam pojęcia, przyznam. Nic mi tu nie przychodzi do głowy, co by mogło pasować. Coś, co można porównać do pamiętnika. Właściwie żadna z tych rzeczy mi nie pasuje. Wy macie jakieś strzały, zanim przeklikam wszystkie możliwe rzeczy, które tutaj są? Nic mi do niego nie pasuje. Nope. Something to compare directly with the secret diary. Fotografia któraś? Że zatrzymywanie wspomnień?
That kinda makes sense.
Let's take a closer look at
O!
this.
Na zdjęciu Freya trzyma to, ojejku! Teraz widzę dopiero. O nie! O nie! The same thing as Secret Diary, because... Za głową schowało się.
This blue book is the same thing as the secret diary, which proves it belonged to Freya.
You were hiding Freya's diary in your room, and you kept it locked, too.
Why would I do either of these things?
Ojej, dużo tego jest. Bird in the garden that everyone knew about, within Freya's diary kept in her bedroom, within a library book. Czyli w ogóle nie w tym kierunku, co strzeliłam, ale poniekąd udało się trafić. Dokładnie tak. Zupełnie nie zauważyłam, że ona na tym zdjęciu cokolwiek trzyma w rękach. Freya didn't want anyone to see personal secrets that everyone knew about within Freya's diary. Fifi nie chciała, żeby ktokolwiek wiedział o tajemnicach Frey.
Fifi didn't want anyone to see personal secrets within Freya's diary.
Is this true, Fifi?
I know Freya was your friend, but if you're trying to hide something...
You did not know Freya, so this might be difficult to understand. She did her own thing, in her own way. By concealing Freya's written accounts, it is simply my intention to preserve her innocence.
Innocence?
Might be easier if you just let us read the diary, Fifi.
Very well. I will open it. However, as you read it, please remember, Freya was the most kind and the most wise person I have ever known.
All right, Fifi unlocked the diary.
Suspicious.
Finally. What's in there?
O! Dobra, to są, rozumiem, te wpiski. Coś o tym strasznym obrazie. Need to more. Widziałam wszystkie 5. Może chodzi o jakieś stworzenia? Ciekawe. Despite everything, I still have a promise to keep. I will do my best. She could do with a little company.
Freya was definitely up to something.
Trochę.
Something to do with the statue in the garden, I think.
Mówiła, że widziała wszystkie 5, a my
Maybe
znaleźliśmy
we
3.
should go back and check. And we could have
Trzy.
missed something.
Świetnie. Trójkę wybierz, panie. To tu było wcześniej?
This wasn't here before.
No właśnie.
What is it?
It's a little wooden toy. Looks kind of like a crab.
There's a note stuck to the back.
What does it say? Grimoire?
This is my new friend. He likes music. Simple melodies will move his soul. Best of luck. You too, Freya. Coś mi się tu zmienia. Drewniana oprawka i między szkłem a oprawką jest tusz. Oh, he likes simple melodies. No tak. Move his soul, czyli zakładam, że jak się coś tu zagra, to powinniśmy móc otworzyć drzwi.
What do you think? Is it really from her?
How can it be?
Why don't we check the handwriting with Freya's diary?
Good idea. Hold on.
Well,
It's a perfect match.
Wow, ma w oczach skaner.
it's confirmed. We have a ghost helping us.
Oh, cool.
Let's keep this to ourselves for now.
What about the little wooden toy thingy?
Maybe we can put it to some kind of use.
Następny rozdział. A jeszcze nie przepytaliśmy wszystkich. Unfinished business. Nie potrafię rozróżnić pisma osobiście.
Spooky. What do you think it's for?
I think it's...
Does it work?
No. I'm still not sure.
Should we take another look?
To jest ciekawe. O! Bo tu się te gluty mogą pokazywać. It doesn't seem like this puzzle can be solved yet. Też mi się tak wydaje. To wygląda jak te stworki z atramentu, które są...
Let's come back later.
Tak, na tej notatce, co znaleźliśmy, na tej zabawce właściwie. Gdzie ona jest? Nie ma jej. Tu jest. Dobra, ja bym chciała jeszcze porozmawiać z Fitzem, bo jeszcze jego nie przetermosiliśmy. No i Hawk Show albo Hawk, jak to woli. O, jak mu się fajnie te oczy świecą.
I like Flora. I hope she's all right.
Do you think she had anything to do with the murder?
There's no
No.
way. She wouldn't willingly cause any additional suffering for anyone. She questioned me,
About what?
my work, the plants, bit of everything.
Did she search the greenhouse?
No, she didn't.
You sure? Maybe she did it when you weren't in there.
No, she hasn't touched it.
How can you tell?
Trust me. I can tell.
Jak ktoś przebywa w jakimś miejscu cały czas, to jest w stanie określić, czy ktoś tu był jeszcze
I imagine you
dodatkowo.
don't visit the astronomy tower too often, do you?
No, but I still see Pointer sometimes. He's always curious about what I'm growing in the greenhouse. Asks me about the birds too, and insects. He's pretty clued up on his evolutionary biology.
I didn't think there was much overlap between astronomy and biology.
No nie?
Felix is a contradiction. His loyalties are placed firmly within the realm of materialism, money, property. But his ego relies on an entirely fraudulent self-image, don't you think?
I was just about to say the same thing.
She was always kind to me. She'd come into the greenhouse when I was working, sometimes by herself, sometimes with Poppy. I think they were just bored at first. Eventually, they started asking questions.
About what?
Poppy wanted to learn about flowers. Freya, she used to ask me about the insects.
Insects?
One of my jobs is to protect plants from things that might eat them. Freya brought me this little glass box, leaves and twigs inside. She'd say, put all the troublemakers in there. Every day I'd put a handful of beetles and other things in the box. Then she'd come along and take it away. I didn't really understand her, but she was always kind.
Podkreślił to 2 razy, że była miła.
Penelope is my fiancée.
Don't take this the wrong way, but Penny doesn't really strike me as your type.
She's not who she pretends to be. People think she's... well, they make assumptions.
And how's the relationship doing recently?
Good. It's good.
Good.
Fifi doesn't like me.
What did you do?
I'm not sure. If you find out, maybe you can let me know.
Have you met this guy, Fitz? Shifty eyes, doesn't say a lot. Totally suspicious, if you ask me.
That's me.
Yeah, it was a joke. I was joking.
Oh, I see.
Ojej, nawet się biedna nasze wsparcie się zakłopotało.
Poppy and I are friends.
Oh, I can buy that. Dark clothes, blue hair, an average of 3 words per sentence. Oh, you're like 2 peas in a pod.
She's very kind, and she has an interest in plants. Unusual flowers, mostly. I've been teaching her.
Right.
Is something wrong?
No nie? Dobra.
Nice painting. Gives you a pretty good idea of the layout.
The lake looks like it forms a perfect circle around the island.
It might seem strange to you, but nature is quite capable of producing perfectly geometric forms.
And those mountain cliff things around the outside?
We don't know much about them. They're unscalable. Not even Freya could have gone up there.
What's that?
This painting, it's speculative. There are no photographs from this angle as far as I know.
So Freya just made it up.
Let's call it an informed estimation.
Ja wciąż uważam, że to wygląda jak jajko.
It's of no interest to me, but I overheard Poppy and Freya talking about it once.
What were they saying?
They were arguing about something, but I can't remember the details. How odd. There's something off about this.
What is it?
Why don't you take another look at Flora's room?
You think we missed a clue up there?
Not exactly. Paints are different to flowers.
I'd say so, yeah.
At any time, flowers can bloom with perfect, faultless colors. Red, blue, white. With paint, once you've tainted a color by mixing it with others, not even the most skilled painter can return it to its pure form.
What do you think that is in Flora's hand?
I don't know. It does look like a knife, but Flora wasn't holding anything at all when I saw her, after the murder. But there's something bothering me. Something else.
What?
When we went into Flora's room, she wasn't standing in this position.
Well, she probably would have moved around a little bit by then.
She wasn't standing at all. She was kneeling on the floor. That belongs to Poppy.
So why is it up in Flora's tower?
I'm not sure. Felix made that? Huh. That's quite sweet, really.
Fitz, one of these drawings is of you in the rooftop garden, I think, with Poppy.
Mm-hmm. Are we done?
Mhm.
It's Fifi and Freya.
Don't you think Poppy should be in the photo too?
Maybe, maybe not. She doesn't really like crowds.
2 people isn't a crowd.
Right, but if she was in the photo, then it'd be 3.
Checkmate.
Any idea who this is?
No idea.
Jak wszyscy udają to zdjęcie, w ogóle wokół niego chodzą. Wow.
Freya's best work, in my opinion. Although, the photo doesn't carry the same energy as the real thing.
What do you think it's a painting of?
What do you mean?
Like, what's the subject matter? What's that big red thing?
Oh, I don't think it's that kind of painting. Looks like someone doesn't want you to read that book.
That's the main thing making me want to read it.
It's an egg with feet.
It was locked, but we opened it, but it was empty.
Fun story.
Okej.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy. What's with the broken glass? Penelope knows about birds. You should ask her instead.
Actually, I wanted to ask you about something. There's a plant mentioned on this page, see? Do you have any? In the greenhouse?
No, I don't grow that anymore. I've tried, in the past. It's incredibly difficult, even for me. I could never get it to live more than a couple of weeks.
A czy to nie jest dokładnie ten sam kwiatek, który rośnie u Flory w wieży?
Penelope's 3 favorite birds. She's very protective over them.
Are they, like, her pets? Do they have names?
Oh, they have names. Penelope loves to name things.
Do you remember what she named them?
I do not.
W skrócie. O!
A flower.
Yeah, it's a flower. We found it in Penny's room.
Okay.
Mean anything to you?
Why would it?
Come on.
I don't really go into Penny's room or anywhere in Pointer Tower. I just don't have a reason to.
Okej.
Those petals, they,
What?
they're red.
They're red.
Poppy's piano music. I remember when she started learning. She's improved a lot since then.
Yeah, that's generally how it works.
Right. Of course. I've seen beetles with brightly colored shells, metallic shells even. They're relatively common, especially around here. There's a difference between that and actual gold.
It can't be actual gold. Gold is just inside the earth or whatever. You can't make it. That's called alchemy. It was a whole thing.
W ogóle, no tutaj w tle widać jednego chodzącego
You ever
żuczka. O,
seen
tutaj.
this before, Fitz?
No, but I don't normally
No.
go into Fifi's room.
That's not where we found it.
Oh, I just thought it looks like it belongs to her. This is a good example of how things work. I mix that soil here in the greenhouse. It's made with water from the lake.
And it makes the fruit grow all shiny and gem-stony.
Sometimes, you never really know what's going to happen.
And what do you do with this shiny, inedible fruit?
You look at it.
This is yours, Fitz?
Yeah,
Do you use it?
I keep all
No.
my tools in the greenhouse.
That wasn't what she asked.
O,
I
nie chcę się
don't know
przyznać.
what that is.
Me neither.
Me 3. Oh, sorry. I thought you said me too.
Me too, me 3.
Wait, those are mine, the earmuffs. They went missing about a week ago.
What do you need earmuffs for?
I use them for gardening sometimes.
Why? You don't own a chainsaw, do you?
No, I wear them while I'm gardening and it stops people from trying to talk to me.
That's genius.
We found
Świetny
these up in the
pomysł.
rooftop garden. Do you know how long they've been there?
No, it could have been a long time. We don't ever really clear up the rooftop garden.
Why not?
Nature is unruly. In truth, it prefers to be left alone. That looks like it might belong to Poppy. Did Freya draw these?
Yeah. There's a note on the back, too.
She was even closer to Flora than I realized.
There's something about the report of Fitz going up Pointer Tower. Something suspicious.
Jeszcze nam detektyw została.
Let's ask him about it.
There's something about Hawkshaw's handheld microscope. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
So, Fitz, I have a report that you were seen sneaking up Pointer Tower. Holding a knife.
That's not right. I don't go into Pointer Tower. I don't own a knife. And I don't sneak. Was it Fifi who told you this?
How did you know that?
A guess. She doesn't like me very much. But yeah, she was mistaken. Maybe she wasn't wearing her eye lens thing.
What do you think, Grimoire?
Fifi definitely saw Fitz holding a knife. Fifi did see Fitz, but he was holding something else. Fifi lied about seeing Fitz.
Fifi did see Fitz, but he was holding something else.
So, if it wasn't a knife, what was it?
Padam! I będą osoby ogarnięte.
What about this?
Ah, that.
Is it yours?
It was a gift. It's sentimental. I have no reason to take it up Pointer Tower. I don't use it at all.
Was used to bury, is used by Fitz to look after, is used by... Co to był za dźwięk w tle? By Fitz to cut is part of a matching set with... With what? Is the only thing that can destroy, was used to bury, nie wiem. In Fitz's room, in Poppy's room, in the garden, in the greenhouse, Penny's room, Fitz... Okej. No dobra, nie jestem do końca pewna. Mówi, że go nie używa w ogóle. Ale może używa go w ogrodzie, tym ogrodzie tam. A może używa tego, dba o ten kwiatek u Penny, bo ona w sumie mówiła, że słabo dba o ten kwiat. An ornate trowel is used by Fitz to look after potted flower in the greenhouse in Penny's room.
An ornate trowel is used by Fitz to look after a potted flower in Penny's room.
Troll.
That flower.
Yes.
I've never seen it before.
Jasne.
We need a clue to compare to that flower. Something that proves its connection to Fitz.
że ten kwiatek jest nim, a to nie wystarczy, że ten dokładnie jest tak samo zapakowany i w ogóle?
Let's take a closer look at these.
No właśnie, obydwa mają tę samą ziemię, jakby nie było. The pots and soil in Flora's, nie. Found in the garden, nie. In Freya's room, no. In Penny's room, matches. The pot and soil hidden, no. Found in Fitz's greenhouse. Found in the garden. Hidden under the...
The pot and soil in Penny's room matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's greenhouse. Let me guess. Penny's flower was originally a gift from you, Fitz. There's no way it's a coincidence.
No way what's a coincidence.
The flower. It looks exactly like Penny.
It took me a long time to breed. I wanted the colors to be exactly right.
That's some gift.
Turns out Penny isn't particularly interested in looking after plants. So I go into her room every now and again when she's not there. Water the flower, change the soil, just trying to keep it alive.
No właśnie. Dobra, jeszcze musimy z detektyw porozmawiać. Mamy suspicious. I ogólnie rozmowy z nią.
This little microscope thing, you said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense if you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
You're such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
Robalek.
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He is not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
It's broken and doesn't work. Hawkshaw doesn't know how to use it. It's not a microscope at all.
It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
It's made entirely out of, is part of. According to Hawkshaw uses, according to Fifi uses. So Hawkshaw was honest, so Hawkshaw stole it, which makes it the murder weapon, so Hawkshaw lied about it. Fifi stole it. Fifi eyes. Telescope lens. Gemstones, magnifying glass, fluorescent. No, przyznam, dziwne to zdanie będzie. It's made entirely out of, is part of. According to how Shaq uses. Fake glass lens? No nie bardzo. Flora's eggs. Which makes the murder weapon. Nie. Fake glass? Telescopic lens. Is part of... Nie jestem do końca pewna. Pointer mówił, że to teleskop bez nóżek. Otóż to, tylko że tu nigdzie nie ma nóżek. Też o tym myślałam, że może dadzą nam, że brakuje... Że brakuje może trójnogu, stojaka. Fifi też mówiła, że to teleskop. No właśnie. Tylko jakoś to zdanie jeszcze... No właśnie. Telescopic lens is a part of the handheld microscope, so Hawkshaw lied about it. Fifi stole it, so Hawkshaw was honest, stole it, nie.
A telescopic lens is a part of the handheld microscope, so Hawkshaw lied about it. Nope.
No. It's part of, according to Hawkshaw uses. Może w ten sposób. Może jest w środku, no to wygląda jak teleskop, ale może ma w środku inny ten, Chociaż oni tu... Czy jest powód, dla którego można wierzyć, że to nie jest mikroskop? Może w ten sposób. Czy ktoś mówił o fake glass? Ktoś wspominał, że to się nie nadaje do użytku tak naprawdę? Ja bym fake glass tu jeszcze dała.
The handheld microscope,
Ale.
according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Hawkshaw, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective? Naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
I wanted to be an astronomer.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe. A fool's errand, to be sure, but a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me. And so, I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect is
Freya?
your murder victim.
No właśnie. No właśnie. Cesarzowa Galaktyki, całkiem niezłe marzenie. Zgadza się. Dobra, ale jeszcze ją przepytamy dzisiaj o wszystkich. Nieźle nam idzie. A myślę, że na na kolejnym live już chyba będziemy
Quite the
powoli
stoic
kończyć.
statue, isn't she? I can only dream of being as cold and indifferent as Flora Fellow.
You think she's hiding something?
Perhaps. She has some strange habits. I heard she barely sleeps, an hour here or there, sporadically. Spends the rest of her time staring up at the sky.
No, śpi jak youtuberzy.
314 cases solved.
O,
314. Professor Pointer's a respectable astronomer. Keeps himself to himself. What?
We're just surprised.
That was the most polite you've been about anyone.
Did you get anything useful out of him?
Not sure. What about you?
Nothing worth committing to paper.
I think he knows more than he lets on.
Probably. But talking with him is so tedious.
wjechała mu na ambicje.
Freya Fellow is of great interest to me. I perceived her to be the most intelligent individual here at Tangle Tower. Within a day, she had identified for whom I was working and for what I was searching. I didn't know how she did it. I was impressed. I regret that I did not question her more thoroughly when I had the opportunity.
You couldn't have known she was about to be killed, though.
I have only myself to blame for failing to perceive the signs.
What signs?
I do not wish to do your job for you, Detective.
Och,
I find her rather embarrassing, little more than a spoilt child.
Penny must be at least 25.
27. Just makes it worse. Considerably intelligent, and her powers of observation are enviable. But she has no ambition, no focus.
In her defense, she's still a teenager.
Barely. I'll say this, he's well suited to physical labor.
That's a nice way to put it.
Fitz spends most of his time alone in the greenhouse, but I heard he's been breeding experimental flowers in secret.
Whoa, scandal.
I just wonder if he's getting restless.
Skandal.
Poppy has remarkable musical talent. She could be famous, wealthy even, if she wanted to.
She'd probably have to leave Tangle Tower first.
Quite.
Okej, teraz cała reszta.
Tangle Tower. No idea why they insist on calling it that. It's not even a tower. It's little more than a pair of turrets stuck on either side of a mansion.
Have you searched the whole place?
I believe so. Why?
He wants to know if you found any secret rooms.
Huh. I'm afraid the residents of Tangle Tower are far too ordinary for anything like that. I was disappointed too.
Znaleźliśmy... Strych. Musiałam sobie przypomnieć coś po przeciwnej stronie do piwnicy. Znaleźliśmy strych. Ja jestem przekonana, że tu jest jeszcze jedno pomieszczenie, tam gdzie jest ta czarna przestrzeń.
I believe that was in Flora's room yesterday, but it was not cracked when I saw it last.
No właśnie, tym bardziej daje nam to do zrozumienia, że te wszystkie popękane rzeczy tu, tam, te pojemniczki popękały przez jakiś dźwięk. No i tak samo te zagłuszacze Fitza znaczą, że ktoś gdzieś mówił, że zaginęły tydzień temu, więc ktoś je zajumał.
Amphibious humanoid, potentially bipedal, although none of the statues show the creature's feet.
I guess we'll never know.
Patrzcie, jak się uśmiechnął podstępnie. On wie, jak wyglądają stopy naszego Bogiego.
You got it open. I'm impressed. I managed it myself yesterday. I thought Flora might be hiding something in there.
It was empty yesterday, too.
It was. Perhaps it's always been empty.
Nie, to piórko tam musiało
A
być,
book from
moim
the
zdaniem.
library. One of hundreds, no doubt. What makes this one special?
It's about birds.
Yes, I see that.
Myślę, że ten Ink Deep to jest jedna z tych kreatur takich rzadko spotykanych, tak samo jak Bugi.
The people here are surprisingly
Buggy.
materialistic, considering how sheltered they are.
Materialistic?
Growing this fruit simply because it produces a gemstone-like material. For what possible purpose, other than financial gain?
You're speculating.
What would you do, Grimoire, if you could grow valuable stone straight from the earth? Have you deciphered the meaning of those 4 symbols on the harp?
Trochę.
We're working on it.
That's a no, then. A diary. Have you read it?
Not yet.
Tak.
It's locked.
And you haven't attempted to force it open?
That would be cheating.
3 birds, 1 cage. What makes them worth keeping cooped up, I wonder? Would they not be happier flying free?
But then they might fly away from Tangle Tower entirely.
I wonder if they would. This is a potential murder weapon, is it not?
I don't know. I don't think the murderer would leave the murder weapon just lying around.
I think you'd be surprised as to what people leave lying around. What is that?
I'm not sure. It looks like it attaches to something else.
Why don't you go back and double-check the area you found it? Maybe you'll find the rest of the something else.
I'm not so sure about that.
Sprawdzaliśmy, co prawda.
Wouldn't you consider that important evidence, do you?
Jak to nie? To nam pozwoliło przycisnąć trochę naszego kolegę.
I admit, it's powerful. Freya was a talented young woman.
Someone even liked it enough to take a photo of it.
Now, we don't know why they took the photograph, do we? Perhaps they just wanted it for reference. Conveniently left anonymous. It's useless until you can prove to whom it concerns. Can you do that?
No?
No.
Myślicie, że ta detektyw jest jakoś powiązana, ma jakieś więzy krwi z kimś z tej rodziny? Może nie Fellow albo Pointer, ale tu jest jeszcze Remington? Tak się nazywała ta kolejna część rodziny? No jaho, witam.
The paint is still wet.
Yeah, well, we know Freya was in the middle of painting when she was killed.
Do you know that? How? Because you were told? A photograph of Freya. could be important. These people really are ridiculous, aren't they? One of 3 statues depicting the same creature. This one is wearing headphones. Perhaps they belong to someone who likes music.
They're not headphones. They're earmuffs for blocking out sound.
Perhaps they belong to someone who doesn't like music.
Pierwsza litera imienia by nie pasowała do rodziny, ale do rodzin. Ja bardziej miałam na myśli, że ona jest tutaj pod przykrywką. Że ma że Hawkshaw to jest przydomek, jakaś ksywa jej, a nie znamy jej prawdziwego imienia.
Paints?
Yep.
Paints.
Yep. Czy ona ma... Nie, ona jest tylko jako Hawkshaw napisana tutaj, nie wiem jak się nazywa dokładnie.
When did Freya draw the picture of you, Hawkshaw?
I didn't model for her, if that's what you're asking. She must have done it without my permission.
Could just be from memory. It's not quite as detailed as the others anyway.
Is that a clue?
Dunno. It was important enough to be framed, though.
I framed my law degree, doesn't make it a clue.
Same? Yeah?
Is this the same?
Do you also have a pile of leaves as a clue?
Oh, not yet. Did you see some suspicious leaves?
O, zbierzemy jakieś suspicious leaves.
Where'd you dig that up?
It wasn't buried. It was underwater.
Someone trying to conceal evidence, perhaps? Who's that?
Not sure. It doesn't really look like anyone we've met so far.
Strange.
Podoba mi się, jak jest to zrobione. Gra nie bierze pod uwagę tego, że już rozwiązaliśmy zagadkę, kto to jest. Ewentualnie jest to tak zrobione, żebyśmy nie zdradzali tego, co wiemy innym. Może o to chodzi?
These figurines remind me of a case I once solved involving a possessed doll.
Whoa.
Turned out to be a bit of a smokescreen, as these things often do.
Your life sounds fun. Grimoire, why don't we ever have fun adventures like that?
Are we not having a fun adventure right at this very moment?
No właśnie.
Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
You didn't see a knife anywhere in Flora's room, did you?
I did not. I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from outside. Unless, of course, it was the painting itself.
Surely you don't believe in that kind of thing.
A detective's job is to examine every avenue of thinking.
Lepiej tak niż jakby gra miała wyjaśniać te tajemnice przypadkiem. O, prawda.
A somewhat cumbersome device, and an altogether inefficient way to listen to music.
What kind of music do you like, Hawkshaw?
O!
I like anything.
What a cop-out.
I'd tell him not to quit his day job, but he hasn't got one, has he?
Burn.
Where did you find this?
Do you have any theories about where this might have been?
Or who might have had it?
I have several theories, but they are my theories, and I'm not going to share them.
To nie.
Does Flora still own that bird? Do you know?
Don't think so. The drawings are from a few years ago.
I see.
Okej, przepytaliśmy ją o wszystkich i o wszystko. Na razie się nic nie zmieniło.
There's a metal plaque on the bench.
Is there a message engraved on it?
I think there was at one point, but someone scratched it off.
To chyba nie byłoby takie trudne, żeby gra po prostu zapisywała, że znamy fakt X i wtedy do rozmowy dorzucić linijkę związaną z nim. No w sumie też. Właśnie o tym myślałam. Ja bym się teraz przeszła po wszystkich miejscach, no bo znaleźliśmy tutaj ten fajny Fifeister. Może jest taki Wicheister jeszcze gdzieś indziej zostawiony tym razem. Można by się przejść po wszystkich pokojach właściwie.
It's a little glass box.
I think it's a vivarium.
Come again?
See the leaves and twigs in there? Might have been for keeping insects.
Dobra, już o tym była mowa. Myślałam, że może coś się zmieni.
Do you think this was always supposed to be a
I don't know.
No windows either.
Dobra, w tym momencie powiedzmy, że zatrzymaliśmy się na pewnym etapie. No tu jest to kółeczko. Ono do czegoś tu musiało być przyczepione. No są tu gwoździe, ale te gwoździe no to mogą być gdziekolwiek.
Sally, you don't have a dust allergy, do you?
No. Do you?
Let me put it this way.
Na razie możemy stąd wyjść. Gdzie byśmy mogli się przejść? Miejsca, w których zazwyczaj się coś zmienia, to jest ta fontanna tutaj. Fontanna, bardziej bajorko. Nie wiem, czy może tu się coś zmienia. Oni mówili o tych ptaszkach, które fajnie śpiewają. Poppy nam też zagrała melodyjkę. Właśnie. Bird Song. A, mamy znaczek. No, nawet nie słychać. Narysuję sobie to. 3 nogi. To wygląda jak te testy. Kojarzycie takie testy, co się pokazuje obrazki i ma się powiedzieć, co się na nich widzi? Nie możemy tego porównać? Bird Song, czyli coś odkryliśmy fajnego. Przejdźmy, zobaczmy, czy tutaj nam coś to powie.
I'm still not sure about this thing.
Should we take another look?
Wiem, że jeszcze nie mamy tego do rozwiązania. To jest... nie to. Tam było. Tu nie ma tego znaczka. Tutaj też go nie widzę. A, tu przy ptaszku. Ten. No, tu już rozwiązaliśmy coś. Testy... Jak to się czyta, moi drodzy? Roszaka? Roszacza? No w każdym razie te testy. Kojarzę.
Let's come back later.
Dobra, tu mamy jeden zrobiony, więc teraz musimy się przejść po miejscach. Przy muzyce? Może przy muzyce? Może nam jeszcze raz Poppy zagra tutaj. Ptaszki też gdzieś świergotały poza tymi tam? Możesz nam jeszcze raz zaśpiewać ten, może...
Yeah, it's mine.
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
Thank you, thank you. No właśnie. Piano. Jaho, jaho. Przyszłem, bo miałem blisko. Miło mi to słyszeć, miło widzieć. Ile będziesz streamowała, tyle będę cię wspierał. Bardzo miło mi to słyszeć. Mam nadzieję, że jak najdłużej będziemy streamować i nagrywać. Nie planuję na razie przerwy, ani nie robienia tego dalej. Dobra, czy tutaj gdzieś coś świergotało w jakimś rytmie?
An especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
No ale tu już od nich się w sumie mniej więcej dowiedzieliśmy co i jak. O, możemy to tu odegrać. Masz ode mnie 500 na miesiąc, to jest coś. 30% zabiera YouTube, a potem jeszcze podatek, ale zawsze coś. Przerwa potrzebna, czasem trzeba spać. Nie, bardziej myślałam o takiej przerwie. Czy coś tu może nam zagrać w tym pomieszczeniu? Jaka melodia. Myślałam, że może ptaki, ale w sumie świergot ptaków już mamy. A, zaraz, tam przecież było narysowane na tej statuetce. Może podejdźmy sobie tu. Na tym było narysowane, co tu gra. Nie na tym, na tym. Tutaj ktoś śpiewa. O, z nagrania. I dzwonki? Gdzie są dzwonki? Jakie dzwonki? Czasem trzeba długo spać, no nie? Śpiewanie to możemy z nagrania zgarnąć, ale dzwonki... Gdzie są dzwonki?
Weird.
It's someone humming a tune.
No właśnie, mamy to. I zostało nam jeszcze coś z dzwonkami, ale tu chyba nie było żadnych dzwonków.
It's piano music.
A to wiemy. Dzwonki. Czy ja gdzieś widziałam dzwonki? Mam wrażenie, że gdzieś widziałam. To będą te? Nie wiem, czy na pewno, ale...
What are they?
Wind chimes. Silent wooden wind chimes.
Czyli nie. Dobrze, sprawdźmy sobie po kolei. Dzwonek do drzwi? No. Ha!
That's all four melodies, I think.
So, what do we do with them?
Should we go back to the gardens again?
Tak jest.
Let's try this.
You know, I think we might be able to solve this now. That's gotta be right.
Nothing. Maybe it's broken.
Wait. Do you hear that?
Wow.
Where do you think it goes?
Na dół. Tam jest drabina.
Down.
Jej, odkryliśmy piwnicę. Tangle Tower. Underneath. Dobra, ale underneath zrobimy w kolejnym odcinku. To znaczy kliknę sobie continue, żeby mi nie przepadło. Jak tu fajno.
It's so dark. I can barely tell what I'm looking at.
Ale tu jest fajnie, na pewno coś o robalu, tu też jest wszystko potrzaskane, tu są robalki, tam jest coś zamknięte, płaszcz, tu coś wisi okrutnego, świeczka, jakaś tablica za nami, ile rzeczy. Dobrze. Ale to są rzeczy, które sobie sprawdzimy w kolejnym odcinku. Jeżeli się nie mylę, czy da się w ogóle tu wejść do menu głównego? Nawet nie wiem, czy się da. Jaki klimat, już mi się podoba, no nie? Dokładnie tak. Tu coś leży ciekawego, tu są jakieś notatki o robakach, tu o motylach, tu jakieś te szuflady. I są flaszki, co robią bulbul. Są takie blulululul. Pajęczyny, jakiś barometr chyba tam jest. Tu są jakieś rośliny, tu jest jakieś terrarium, akwarium, cokolwiek to jest. Czy to, co ona tam powiedziała. Tu też jest tylko potrzeba. Potty, okej, dobra. Światło na koniec live'a postanowiło. W sumie mruga tak jak to wszystko tutaj. Idealnie się wczytuje. Genialny pomysł. Światło. O, zgasło. Ale mryga, więc zaraz się zaświeci. O. Lepiej to wygląda, jak się świeci. Chyba wymienię żarówki. One chyba tak mrugają, jak się niszczą, już kończą, więc... Coś ci wisi nad głową. To tu? No nie? Dobrze. Kończymy. Kończymy. Myślę, że będziemy live prowadzić w Full HD. Fajnie, że się da w 4K, ale jednak bardziej mi odpowiada to, że możemy rozmawiać na bieżąco i od razu. Druga rzecz do obczytania, miganie LEDów. Full HD. Full HD, dokładnie. Będziemy grać w Full HD, bo jednak o wiele przyjemniej się prowadzi tego live'a, jeżeli możemy rozmawiać bardziej na bieżąco niż z takimi opóźnieniami. No myślę, że to są LEDowe żarówki już na tym etapie. Mogę odkręcić jedną, która nie działa, sprawdzić. Przyszedłem na koniec, ale lepiej późno niż wcale. Pewnie, że tak. Raz, dwa, trzy, cztery. On ma 5 żarówek, takich małych, one trochę jak świeczki wyglądają. Nieduże są, ale dają dosyć spore światła, bo dosyć mocne są. Jedyne, co mnie w nich troszkę Tak to, że jedna ma bardzo światło takie dzienne, żółte, a druga ma ani białe, ani dzienne, takie pośrednie. Ciężko powiedzieć. W sumie takie fajne, takie, które mam wszędzie na lampach dodatkowych ustawione. Ani nie białe, ani nie żółte, tylko takie pośrednie. Znając życie, jest to coś trywialnego jak przygrzanie zasilacza. Jak żarówka LEDowa miga, to w skrócie oznacza, że się psuje. Dokładnie elektronika odpowiadająca za zasilanie w niej. Ja myślę, że jak większość rzeczy, żarówki też są zrobione tak, co by działały tylko przez jakiś czas, żeby je wymieniać. Niestety, tak to jest zrobione. Już po prostu ilość rzeczy, które się psuje 2 dni po gwarancji jest niesamowicie irytująca. Ale dobra, zostawimy Sally tam stojącą w takiej samej pozycji jak ja live wyprowadzę, trzymając rękę na brodzie cały czas. Nie wiem, tak mi jest wygodnie. Mogę się zawsze pogarbić, czasem się tak spieram. Opierania mam daleko. O. Oczywiście, bo jak się popsuje, to kupisz nowe i większa sprzedaż jest. Dokładnie tak. Ja lubię swoje rzeczy naprawiać, ale no, żarówki nie naprawię. Ale co się da, to tak. Jak długo się da rozkręcić albo rozkleić, tak że się nie roztrzaska, to lubię przy czymś przydłubać. Nawet jak się nie naprawi, lubię sam fakt rozkładania tych rzeczy na części. Dobrze, kończymy, a ja się przerzucam znowu na Hogwarty. Ja lubię lutować, ja też lubię lutować. Żarówki akurat idzie naprawić, tylko nie wiem jak ją rozłożę, to obawiam się, że jej nie złożę, bo ona jest klejona przy szkle, bo sprawdzałam. Może się okazać, że jak spróbuję wyciągnąć szklaną część żarówki, to po prostu pęknie mi w dłoniach, a tego bym nie chciała. Plus ona ma takie, jak to się nazywa? Mleczne szkło. No ale nie da się jej wyciągnąć niestety. Lubi majsterkować majster? Lubię. Rzeczywiście, to jest coś, co lubię robić. By była powtórka z klejem jak z blatem. No nie? Ła. Nie widać tego, bo jest przykryte blatem, ale jak kiedyś podniosę blat, to ło. Można sobie schowek tam zrobić, powkładać jakieś rzeczy, bo nie sądzę, żeby ktokolwiek kiedykolwiek wpadł na to, że można schować jakieś drogocenne rzeczy w urwanym kalaksie. Dostać się co prawda do tego nie ma szans w tej chwili, jakby tam chciała, ale da się. Da się. Kiedy zlot z widzami? No jak dobijemy do 1 000 000. Umówiliśmy się już, że z 1 000 000 robimy zlot. Dobra, kończymy. Widzimy się na odcinkach, na live widzimy się w niedzielę. No. To dzięki za wspólną grę. To prawie już jutro, dokładnie. Życzę dobrej nocy i trzymajcie się ciepło. Jaho!